The day has arrived. It's Becca's favorite food. I'm Rebecca Farr, this is Recipes with Rebecca, and today we are going to make goat cheese sweet pepper bruschetta. Oh. You will need a beautiful baguette, some lovely goat cheese, sweet bell peppers, tiny bit of oil, honey, and if you'd like, some candied sweet pecans, or spiced pecans, or walnuts, or almonds, or whatever other kind of crunchy, sweet and spicy thing you'd like, if you feel like tossing them on top. And you are going to take the peppers and cut them up pretty thinly. We're talking kind of fajita peppers. Throw them in a big saucepan, put them on pretty decently high heat with a smidgen of oil. You do not want to drown the peppers. You want them pretty dry because it's going to go on top of cheese and honey, and you just, don't need all that much liquid going on. So bathe them in very lightly. If you want, you can throw some sea salt in there just to pull it out a little bit. You do want to cook the peppers. It changes the texture and the taste pretty substantially, and this is better with cooked peppers than with raw peppers. However, if you'd like, you can cook them and then cool them if you like cold peppers, or if you need to take this on the road. This is a good on the road snack. It can be assembled pretty quickly and without too much complication. So you can cook the peppers and then leave them aside, and cooked sauteed, just simple sauteed in oil and salt peppers will last you in the fridge for quite a while. So throw those in, and then you're going to slice the baguette lengthwise so you have slices, and then toast. You have to do a toast of the baguette when it has nothing on it. This is very important. Before you put on the honey or the goat cheese, you need to have pretty crispy baguette that doesn't burn you. This part should be crispy like toast. It makes the honey soak in more happily. Take your honey once you have your toasted bread. I should note, I toast via broiler in the oven, right? So just top rack, really high heat. Throw them up nice and close, keep a close eye on them because they will, go charcoal if you're not careful. Take honey and slather that sucker all over all of the toast pieces. It's going to be hard to have too much honey, regardless of how much you do or don't like honey, because the goat cheese and the peppers are going to be smothered on top, and they're pretty strong tastes as well, and together you're just going to get a nice, beautiful, and then the toasting is going to help the honey kind of sink in without making soggy the bread. So we're going to spread the honey all over, and then once you've spread an adequate amount of honey, which I'm having difficulty doing, then you're going to do the same with the goat cheese. The goat cheese you can put on as much or as little as you'd like. I'm Becca, and it's cheese, so the answer is put on a lot. Put on a lot. The big thing is, though, that you do want it pretty evenly smooth over the bread, not just because you want a smooth bite, but also because that way, when you put it back in the broiler, it will do some lovely browning of the cheese. And alternatively, if you have like one of the little flame torchy things that you would use for creme brulee, you can tell I'm like a very sophisticated chef and know all of these terms well. You could just scorch it a bit, just to brown the cheese. But in the broiler, works just as well. So I generally get a log and then kind of do pats, and just place a few pats close to each other on each beautiful slice. And life will be grand. If you get sick of that, or if that kind of goat cheese isn't available, you can also do the crumble method. Works just as well. The point is, you want cheese on all of the logs. And as soon as you start to hear the pepper sizzle, hint I am, make sure you give them a stir. But peppers are very forgiving and lovely little creatures, so they won't get into too much mischief while you're doing this. And then you're going to, once the goat cheese gets all over all of your logs, throw that back in the oven. Keep a very close eye on it. You don't want, black toast That's the other reason to put the cheese all over, because then the toast won't burn. Because the biggest thing is making sure that you melt and brown the cheese enough without burning the toast. And if there's cheese evenly spread over the log, that will help with that whole situation. So once that happens, sneak it back in the oven. Continue to stir up your peppers until they're gone. If I weren't trying to do this all in one take, I would have put the peppers on a little bit earlier, because generally speaking, the peppers are going to take longer than the toast, but that's okay. And once the peppers are cooked and your toast is however done you want it, you throw the peppers in a heaping pile on top of the toast with goat cheese, and if you'd like, you sprinkle some candied pecans on there, and yum! I will post pictures.